So here, what is meant by globalization? Okay. So here, before going for globalization, what is meant by liberalization? Okay. What is the significance of liberalization and what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages and what are the objectives of liberalization? I am going to discuss in this. Okay. So what is meant by liberalization? Liberalization in the sense it is elimination of control of the state or like on the economic activities. Whatever the like sorry. So here some rules and regulations. Okay. So like eliminating some restrictions. Okay, in order to do it. Okay, some like I'm very sorry, ma. Here, liberalization means here elimination of control of states over the economic aspects. Okay, so that means that here, like earlier, there were many hindrances in the way of country's economic growth. So here, this liberalization it aimed to remove these hindrances, and here this economic reform like it helps to loosen the government control in various sectors. Okay, and here like several restrictions were imposed on the private sectors, making them difficult to operate in the economy. So here, in order to make them easier, like liberalization allowed them to get the ease of expanding their sectors in the country. Okay, so here the main objective is here like to boost the competition between the domestic businesses among the companies in the economy, to promote the foreign trade and to regulate the imports and exports. Here, to improve the technology and foreign capital, to develop a global market of the country, and here to reduce the debt burden of the country. Debt burden in the sense like it is a debt in the sense here we are talking about the loan. Okay, and here to unlock the economic potential of the country by encouraging the private sectors as well as the MNCs to invest as well as to expand in our economy. And not only that, here this liberalization also focused on encouraging the private sector to make the active participate in the developmental process in the economy. So that means that for the economic development, to reduce the role of the public sector in the future industrial development, and also to introduce the more competition. So why competition is required in the economy? Why? Because here when competition is there in the economy, we get the product at the quality product at the reduce competitive price. That's the reason competition is very important in the economy. Okay, so here with the help of the competition, what are the advantages you are going to get? You are going to get at the competitive price as well as the efficiency in the product. That means that you get the quality product. So these are the basic objectives of liberalization. So here, what are the reforms under liberalization? The reforms are like deregulation of the industrial sector, okay, which were regulated earlier, okay, and financial sector reforms, tax reforms, foreign exchange reforms, trade and investment policy reforms, external sector reforms, foreign exchange reforms, and foreign trade policy reforms. These are the reforms under liberalization. So here, on the whole, under liberalization, what are the reforms made? In the sense, you need to talk about the deregularization. This is the foremost thing, deregularization of the industrial sector. Okay, and here like foreign exchange, financial sector, external sector, foreign exchange, trade policy reforms. These are the reforms which was made at the time of liberalization. Okay, what is the impact of liberalization? Impact in the sense here you have both positive as well as a negative. So here when you talk about the positive impact of liberalization, here there was free flow of capital. Okay, free flow of capital, making it affordable for the businesses in order to reach the capital from the investors. And here, with this, what happens? You can go for a profitable project. And then the second advantage is diversity for investors. Diversity for investors in this is the investors will be benefited by investing a portion of their business, isn't it? Here in the diversifying asset. Why diversification is important? What is meant by diversification? Here, your diversification is important. Why? Because with the help of the diversification, what happens? You can minimize the risk. So when you are able to minimize the risk, what exactly you are doing? It implies that you are maximizing the returns of that particular asset class. So here with the diversification, what happens? You are able to minimize the risk as well as maximizing the returns. And apart from the diversity for investors, the advantage is impact on agriculture. Impact on agriculture in the sense, so in this area, the cropping designs, like they have experienced a huge reform, huge change with the impact of liberalization. Okay, so here, but what is the percentage of the impact of liberalization? It cannot be accurately measured. Okay, so here, what does this mean? This means like lifting of restrictions, government interventions will not be there in the liberalization policy. This is the concept of liberalization. And when you talk about the negative impact of liberalization, weakening of the economy. Weakening of the economy in the sense, here the political power as well as the economic power will lead to what happens, weakening the entire economy. Okay, whatever it may be, whatever economy may be, but it weakens the entire economy. And technological impact, the technological impact in this is fast development in the technology, which allows many small scale industries, small businesses, okay, micro and small businesses, like was not able to adjust to the changes. And so what happened during that time of liberalization, even some businesses, they have shut down their operations. Okay, this is the disadvantage, that is due to technological impact. What happens, small people cannot afford the technology, isn't it? So what happens, due to this liberalization, the small people, they have shut down their operations. Merger and acquisition. Merger and acquisition, what is meant by merger? Merger in the sense, two different firms, okay, two similar firms merging into a single firm. Okay, that means that here, for example, X company and Y company you are taking. So here, uh, but what happens, the both the companies are producing the same good, but the thing is, X is very good at procuring the finance and Y is very good at marketing. Okay, so here there are drawbacks for the X as well as there are drawbacks for the Y. So to overcome, so this means that two weak companies coming together to form a single company is called as merger. So when two weak companies coming together, this is called as synergy. Okay, this is called as synergy. So here, what is happening here? Here, two weak companies coming together to form a big company. So here, what happens? Here, employees of small companies may need not like enhance their skills, okay, and may not become technological advanced. Why? Because they don't require such advancement, will not be required for them. Okay, this enhancing of skills and time for the enhancing of skills as well as for the technological development, it may take time for the small companies. Here, during that period, what happens? They may lead to non-productivity and can be burden for the company's capital. So these are the basic disadvantage. That means that here, due to liberalization in the economy, there was a weakening of the economy, and the technological impact, due to technological impact, the small companies could not able to adjust that particular environment, and due to it they have shut down their operations. And here they were mergers and acquisition. Okay, these are the negative impacts of liberalization. And here, as I said that, like what are the economic reforms during liberalization? Like financial sector reforms, tax reforms, okay, foreign exchange reforms, industrial sector reforms. So on the whole, when you talk about liberalization, so here, as I said that, like the basic objective is to increase the competition, to regulate the imports and exports, to increase the foreign capital and technology, as well as to expand the global market. Okay, and also to get rid of the country's debts. Okay, these are the basic objectives of liberalization. And here, when you talk about the globalization, okay, so here globalization means, here this globalization, when you talk about globalization, it was not a new concept, but when this was introduced in the year 1991. Okay, here, the importance of globalization is like due to globalization, it can speed up the pace. Okay, and it can speed up the changes, policy changes. It can speed up the communication technology innovations. Okay, so here, for the globalization, in order to go for the globalization, what are the two elements is required? The two elements is required is communication technology and innovation. So why innovation is required? Why? Because here every time what the people want in the economy, they want like unique product, isn't it? So if at all, if you are not innovative in nature, if you are not able to produce the goods according to the taste and preference of the customers, then what happens? Whatever the goods produced in the organization, it get piled up, and then that becomes that 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 becomes idle resources. Idle resources in the sense, it will not yield any returns for the organization. It becomes liability. The proportion of the liability increases day by day. Okay. So here, like in the globalization part, here when you talk about the globalization is a social, cultural, political, and legal phenomenon. So when you talk about this social, what does this mean? This means that it leads to the greater interaction among the various population in that particular economy. And when you talk about the cultural, here globalization, it represents the exchange of ideas, values, as well as here like expressing among the cultures, whatever the culture you find it in the economy. We find different cultures in the economy, isn't it? So expressing their culture. Okay. And here, not only that, globalization, it also represents a trend towards the development of the single world culture. And here, when you talk about the political aspect, this globalization, it has shifted the attention to intergovernmental organization like UN, that is United Nations, and WTO, that is World Trade Organization. So here, when you talk about the legal phenomenon of the globalization, is it has altered how international law is created and enforced in the particular economy. Okay, so here this is the basic concept of globalization. Okay, so here like in CRIPS, like globalization in the sense, it is a spread of products, technology, information, and jobs across the nations. And here, with the help of the globalization, developing countries, they benefit as they tend to be more cost effective. Okay, so not only that, it attracts jobs also. So that means that there is employment generation also. So the basic benefits of globalization, like they are not okay. Like they have the positive effects as well as the negative effects. So when you have the positive effects in the sense, here with the help of the globalization, a larger market for goods and services we are finding, and cheaper consumer prices, means that competitive prices in the market. Okay, and here generally when you talk about the globalization, you consider the element like outsourcing. It can benefit both domestic firms as well as the foreign foreign firms. And here, with the help of the globalization, it started lifting the standard of living of the people in that particular economy. So these are the advantages which you come across in globalization. And here, for every advantages, you have disadvantages also, isn't it? So the disadvantages is it concentrates wealth in the richer countries. Okay, this is the disadvantage of globalization. And here, with the help of the globalization, who cannot afford it, who cannot do it, some poor countries are left behind. Means they are not taking that poor countries also into consideration for this globalization part. And you like apart from that, poorer countries, they were exploited of their labor as well as the physical and intellectual resources, whatever the resources are available in that particular economy. And here, cultures and the products they consumed around the world can become homogeneous products. Okay, these are the basic disadvantages of globalization. So here, when you talk about on the whole, so like the basic objective is like it reduce the import duty, encourage the foreign investment, encourage to the agreement in the foreign technology. Okay, so as I said, that what is globalization? It is the economic reform which ties the country's economy with with the other countries. Okay, so like other countries, instead of other countries, you can say that like that of the world. Okay, and the main focus of this reform is what is on foreign trade. Okay, So here for this, they have like various strategic policies, which is aiming to integrate the world as a whole. Okay, and then here next is privatization. So here, what is privatization? Why privatization is? So the meaning of privatization is it transfers the ownership, management, and control, okay, of the public enterprise to the private sector. Okay, when you are transferring the ownership, okay, when you are transferring the control as well as the management to the private sector, it is called as privatization. Okay, so here when you talk about the privatization, like it suggests several things, like migration of migration from this public sector to the private sector, and here it is regulating the private firm. So like when industry becomes less organized, okay, and here the basic objective of privatization is to provide a strong base for the inflow of the FDI. FDI means it is a foreign direct investment. Okay. So not only that, the increased inflow of FDI, it improves what? So when cash flow is coming in, so when you talk about the cash flow, we take inflows as well as outflows. So when cash flow is coming in, what happens? The financial strength of the economy increases, isn't it? When you means that means that you're getting, for example, you're taking exports and imports. When more exports are there, so inflow will be there. Inflow of foreign currency will be there. When more imports are there, outflow of our currency will be there. So here, with the help of the privatization, it started increasing the inflow by means of FDI. Okay, by strengthening the financial aspect of the economy. And here, not only that, here it improves the efficiency of the public sector undertakings. Okay, by giving them autonomy to make decisions, and some companies were given special categories for the PSUs. For example, like Navratna, Mini Ratna, this and all, you can take it as example for this. Okay, and here we have different types of ownership. Okay, it can be we have different types of privatization. It can be transfer of ownership. It can be by means of disinvestment. Okay, so here transfer of ownership. So what the government will do, government companies are converted into private companies. How these government companies are converted into private companies? Here it is by withdrawal of the government from the ownership and management of public sector companies, and apart from that, like it is outright sale of public sector companies. So what like now government is doing, outright it is selling PSUs are sold in the market. Okay, so disinvestment in the sense whatever the investment was there, uh, so that is withdrawing the investment is called as disinvestment. So here privatization of public sector undertakings, it is by selling of the part of the equity of the PSUs to the private sector is called as disinvestment. In general understanding, so whatever the, for example, 100 rupees you have invested in the company, you're withdrawing the 100 rupees from the, withdrawing the 50 rupees from the company is called as, this 50 rupees is the disinvestment. Okay. And here the purpose of the sale is for what? To improve the financial and to go for modernization. So in order to go for improve the financial strength as well as to go for the modernization, that is technological development. Okay. So here, apart from that, like we have different methods of privatization, like public sale of shares, public auction, public tender. Sometimes you go with the direct negotiation, transfer of control of enterprises that were controlled by the state or by municipalities, or lease with a right to purchase. Okay, so these are the different methods of privatization. Okay, so here as I said that, like advantages, what are the advantages? Improved performance, customer experience. Okay, government will not interfere in the affairs of the company, and it is for the short term outlook. It is the encouragement for the shareholders to invest, because so here, well, you can go for you can ask for better returns from the organization. And here with the privatization, what happens? There will be increased competition in the economy. And here, the government also will increase the revenue from the sale of PSUs. Okay, so these are the advantages of privatization. And here, when you talk about the main aim, already I told you all that, like strong momentum of the inflow of the FDI and improving the efficiency of the PSUs. Okay, so here these are the advantages of privatization. So on the whole, you have as I said that there are different forms of privatization. Just you can check in your book Liberalization 121. So just is given what is meant by privatization, what is meant by globalization, which was given in the page number 119 and 120, measures of liberalization. So here it is given by giving subheadings here, page number 123. And as I told you all, this LPG policy came in the industrial policy 1991. This was given in page number 124. And the features of industrial policy also is given in your book. Okay. Mm. Take some questions, ma. Take some questions. What are the features of new industrial policy 1991? 1991. And here you can expect small notes, MRTP Act, that is Monopolies Restrictive Trade Practices Act, and FERA, that is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, and the FDI, Foreign Direct Investment. Okay, these are the three small bits you can expect. Okay, and then what is liberalization? The advantages and disadvantages of objectives and advantages and disadvantages of liberalization. So these are the three questions which are very important under liberalization policy. And come to the privatization 136, page number 136. The basic features is given. Okay, why the economy will go for privatization, and objectives is given. It is given in points. It will be easy for you all to go through it. Okay, and one more thing, difference between privatization and nationalization is given. Take down question. The difference between privatization and nationalization. The difference between privatization and nationalization. This take down question. Why there is a need for privatization of India? Why there is a need for why there is a need for privatization of Indian economy? What is the impact of privatization? So this question is asked in the examination, what is the impact of privatization? You have to talk about the advantages and disadvantages. This question is very important. And one more question, explain the different forms and methods of privatization. Different forms and methods of privatization. Okay. General question also they may ask you, what is the role of privatization? What is the role of privatization in the context of economic growth in India? Economic growth in India. See, globalization, page number 156. 156 and 157, the concept and the elements of globalization is given, that is introducing the that is FEMA Act, that is Foreign Exchange Management Act, okay, reduction in custom duties, liberalization of foreign investment, signing of WTO agreement. And here, drivers of globalization is given. So the main driver is technological driver, political driver, market driver, cost drivers, and competitive drivers. Take down the question. Impact of globalization on the developing economies. Impact of globalization on the developing economies. Okay. And then what is globalization? Discuss the merits and demerits of globalization. Discuss the merits and demerits of globalization. Okay. One more question. How does globalization increase the employment opportunities? Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. These are the questions we can expect in the privatization. So on the whole, the LPG scheme was introduced in the year 1991. Okay. L stands for liberalization, G stands for globalization, and P stands for privatization. So what you have to do? You have to learn what is globalization, what is privatization, and what is liberalization. And then what are the objectives? Your object, say for each and every, these are the three elements, isn't it? For each and every element, like you should define it. You should give the objectives. Okay, reason behind going for liberalization or globalization or privatization, and then advantages and disadvantages. These are the five subheadings you need to write when this question is asked in the examination. Is this clear, this part? Okay. So here, is this clear, this part? Any doubts? Any doubts? అమ్మ మీకు ఎంతమందికి తెలుగులో కావాలి? మీకు ఎంతమందికి తెలుగులో కావాలిమా? ఇందాక ఒక అమ్మాయి అడిగింది కదా తెలుగులో కావాలని. నేను మొత్తం తెలుగులో అయితే చెప్పలేను నేను. అమ్మ, go to page number 91. The employment generation I've stopped, I've started, but I've not completed. Employment generation. What is meant by unemployment? What are the different causes of unemployment? Even I explained this, I think, no? Types of unemployment I have not explained. Amma, what is unemployment? And what are the main causes? అమ్మ మీరు ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్లో మాట్లాడారా మీరు? హలో, అమ్మ వాట్ ఈస్ అన్ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్? What are the main causes? Aisha, who don't have jobs is unemployment. Any other answers? Here, this part already I explained. Only types of employment, unemployment I have not explained. So even then also overview I am giving you all. So what is meant by unemployment? Where workers are capable of working and willing to work, but they don't get any employment. So this is called as unemployment. And what is the basic causes? Which subject is this? Indian economy is a subject. Unemployment refers to the situation where individuals who are actively seeking employment are unable to find work. It is typically measured as a percentage of the total labor force. Unemployment can be caused by various factors such as economic downturns, technological changes, and structural shifts in. Okay, good. Okay. So here, what are the major causes? Major causes is high population, okay, growth without adequate employment opportunities, absence of employment opportunities in other than agriculture. So, seasonal employment, joint family system, increasing turnout of students from Indian university. That means that passed out, like for example, 100% passed out from the university, but in the market the requirement is not there. 100% requirement is not there. Okay, slow developing of industries, inappropriate technology. These are the basic causes for the unemployment in the economy. Okay, and types of unemployment. See here, voluntary unemployment. So voluntary in the sense some people who are unwilling to work at the prevailing wage rate. Okay, so here is called as voluntary. So that means that voluntary employment may be uh, based, like it is the waste of human energy, but it is not a serious economic problem. Serious economic problem in the sense, see here, it is not required. Okay, so but the thing is voluntary, they are coming voluntary, they are not working. Okay, and frictional unemployment. So here it is a temporary phenomenon, and here it is caused by imperfect mobility of the labor. Okay, and casual unemployment, it is like this unemployment you find in construction industry especially. అమ్మ ఇది చెప్పేశాను కదా మీకు. ఓకే, ఓకే, యోజనాస్ చెప్పలేదు మీకు. అమ్మ, యాంటీ పావర్టీ అండ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 programs we have. 9. Okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 programs we have. That is, first one is IRDP, that is Integrated Rural Development Program. Okay. This was introduced in the year 1978 and 79. Okay. And this program merged into a single program known as Swarna Jayanti Grama Sarva Rozgar Yojana, SGSY, on April 1st, 1991. Okay, so here especially this IRDP program, it was created in order to go for employment generation. Okay, so in order to raise the income capacity among the poor. Okay, to not only that, to provide the supporting to the rural people. Okay, these are the major intention behind this IRDP program. Okay, so here the second program is Jawhar Rozgar Yojana. Okay, this is also called as Jawhar Grama Samruddhi Yojana. Okay, this was introduced on 1st April 1989. Okay, so here mainly this program like it is for employment to landless farmers and laborers. Okay, and here like the it is to create the rural economic infrastructure with employment generation. And here, not only that, along with that, it is poverty elevation in the rural areas. Okay, so here this is all about Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. So almost whatever the yojanas was given by the economy, it is for the poverty elevation. It is for the employment generation. It is providing some economic infrastructure. Okay, so these are the major intention behind the such programs. And not only that, here you have Pradhan Mantri Gramina Awas Yojana is there, Employment Guarantee Scheme is there, National Food for Work Program is there, Sampurna Gramina Rozgar Yojana is there, and training rural youth for self-employment, Swarna Jayanti Sahari Rozgar Yojana, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005, and Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, that it was introduced on 26 January 2015. And here Mudra, that is Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency. And then Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana. And this particular scheme, it is targeting the youth between 15 to 35 years of population. Okay, population of BPL, that is below poverty line. Okay, Digital India scheme. Okay, this is for high speed internet technology for improving the literacy. Okay, and the main objective is growth of electronic services, manufacturing products, and job opportunities is the intention behind this Digital India scheme. And here National Rural Livelihood Scheme. Okay, this is also to eradicate the poverty, and it is focused on increasing the self-employment skills. Okay, by providing skill by organizing some programs where they can enhance the skill of the people. Okay, so that, and in return, like it improves the livelihood of the people, as well as they support they support for the growth of the economy. These are such programs. Okay, which is given by the economy, by the Indian government. These are the programs. Is this clear, Sweta? Is this clear? Okay. So here, these are the programs like for the employment generation and inequality. What is meant by inequality? What is meant by inequality? Can you explain what is meant by inequality? Amma, this is a subject where there should be two-way interaction from the students. Okay, this is not simply like giving the inputs. Okay, you people also have knowledge about the economy, what is happening, what are the schemes available in the economy, isn't it? So, which scheme will give you development, that you all are very well aware of the schemes, isn't it? Even Congress government, they came out with different scheme, isn't it? So those schemes are applicable for what? So actually, these schemes are for which category of people? Okay. So on the whole, whatever the schemes, okay, lack of equality is inequality. Very bad. Okay. So here, on the whole, whenever the government comes out with some schemes, it is for the development of the economy. Okay, it is for the employment generation. It is to introduce technology in the economy. Okay, it is to uplift the standard of the people in the economy. So for these are the reasons, these are the basic reasons why the government will come out with some schemes. Okay, so here inequality means it is the inequality, social disparity. Okay, or disparity of distribution, or disparity in the opportunities, services, benefit. Okay, here, like in another words, it is related to the unequal access of the resources in the economy. Okay, that means that, so here in the inequality part, so here you talk about the like when inequality occurs. Okay, inequality occurs due to the physical attributes. Okay, physical attributes. Attributes in the sense, here we talk about the distribution of national ability. Okay, here you talk about the personal preference, you talk about the public policies. Okay, so here on the whole, what is meant by inequality? It is a phenomenon of unequal or unjust distribution of the resources and opportunities among the people in that particular set of particular category or particular segment. Okay, so here, for example, you can take, so like example, you can take women, children, you can take, okay, older persons, migrants, you can take. Okay, so older persons, migrants, for example, like you face lack of opportunities and discrimination, isn't it? You find discrimination among these peoples. Okay, so here, when you talk about the inequality, inequality can be in income of an individual. Okay, inequality of wealth, that is across the households or individuals. Okay, or inequality of opportunity. So that means that here you come across like lifetime inequality, or inequality of wealth, or inequality of opportunities. Okay, so here when you talk about the society point of view, what is meant by inequality? So here when you talk about the society, social point of view, inequality means it is a condition of unequal access to the benefits and rights of the society. Okay, so here why there is inequality? You should know that why there is inequalities. Here, inequalities, when you talk about the inequalities, they are measured by what? They are measured by income. But but in some cases, what happens? These inequalities, they are determined by the factors like gender, age, origin, disability. Okay, based on the class, based on the religion, isn't it? Okay. So here nowadays these are the factors which determines the inequalities of the opportunities. Okay. Here still now it is to persist within and within the economy. Okay, and sometimes between the economies also. So here, when you talk about the two main types of inequalities, I've already all discussed. That is inequality between the persons. Okay, that means that you are talking about the inequality in the income, and here you are talking about the inequality between the subgroups. That subgroups in the sense, here we are talking about the racial inequality. Okay, so here what is there in inequality? Okay, so here, like in the inequality, it compares the two values, showing if one is less than the other. Okay, less than the other or greater than the other, simply equal to the another values. So here there are three ways to do it: less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay, so here, how to solve the inequalities. Okay, so how to solve the inequalities in the sense, here by like whatever the inequality is persisting in the economy, which type of inequality, based on that, here the economy has to, the government has to take appropriate steps. Okay, in order to reduce the inequality within and among the countries. It is very important in order to for the better survival, better growth of the economy. Okay. So here in your book, like 99, like there are different causes of economic inequality is given. That is differential regional growth, unequal asset distribution, technological dualism, educational disparity, inadequate welfare measures, inappropriate government policy, lack of skills, growth of the informal sector, level of corruption. Okay, and remedies also is given. Certain remedies like curbing the concentration of income and wealth, and land reforms, redistribution of assets, providing employment opportunities, small scale industries, social security measures, tax reforms, educational reforms, inheritance laws, public sector reforms. Okay, these are the remedies which is given in page number 101. Just go through the content. Okay, and then remedies for poverty and other measures for poverty reduction. Okay, so here it is given. So you should know when you talk about this particular topic, you should know the difference between economic inequality and poverty. Is the economic inequality and poverty is one and the same? So it is not one and the same. There is a lot of difference between these two elements, that is economic inequality and poverty. Okay, and even the other measures for poverty reduction also is given in page number 103. And modernization, and what is modernization? Okay, so here modernization, it is a set of assumption about the nature of developed society. Okay, so not only that, it is the ability to transform the particular economy both materially as well as the cultural deficient. Okay, so here what you are doing, you are going to transform them. Okay, so that is called as modernization. The basic concept of modernization is to like it will talk about the changes which combines to convert an like underdeveloped economy to the developing economy. Okay, so here when you talk about the features here, like 9 features is given in the book 105. Just go through it. And competitiveness. What is meant by competitiveness? Why competition is important? What is the significance of competition? It's very important. Okay, just go through, only one paragraph is given. Just go through that. Make a note of the questions, ma. Questions under this. Anti-poverty versus employment programs. Anti-poverty versus employment programs. And the second question is, what is inequality? What is inequality? Explain the causes of economic inequality. What is inequality? Explain the causes of economic inequality. These are the 2 questions you can expect in long questions. Short bits, modernization, competitiveness, anti-poverty programs, employment programs, okay. So these are the questions you can expect in this particular this thing. Okay. Any questions? Just go through the content right from the unemployment, inequality, modernization, and competitiveness. Just go through the content and give you all 2 minutes time. If at all, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll give you 2 minutes time. You just go through the content which is there in your textbook, some points. If you are not able to understand some subheadings and all, you can ask me questions. For the understanding part, I'll explain once again. Try to at least read the subheadings so that, like, if that subheading is not understood by you, like, I'll explain it once again. Do you have any questions? Ma'am, this year no bids. I I don't think so, ma'am. I don't have the question pattern. I'll let you know once I'll find out with the management. Already question pattern is given backside, no? It is there, no? You have three different sections, section A, section B, and section C. Exactly, I don't know whether bits are there or not. But as per the question paper given backside of your book, bits are there. Okay. Yes, 20 marks in the model paper. 20 marks. It has objective type multiple choice question as well as the fill in the blanks. Each carries 1 mark. 10 NCQs, 5 fill in the blanks, and 5 match the following. You have any questions? Whatever I have explained in the class, is this clear? In cost accounting 144, how to calculate metric system? 1 second, 144. Ma, already I told you, no? When you called me, I told you, no? So here, once again, I'll explain it. Output of the worker of ABC is given. A output is 64 units, B output is 74 units, and C output is 84 units. And guaranteed time rate is 5 per hour. And the low price rate is 2, high price rate is 3. High task is 80 units per week. Okay. So here, high task is 80 units. So here, what you do, you give the workers, number of workers, and then output per week, that is 64, 74, and 84 percentage of task. 80 units, isn't it? Okay. See here, for 64 units, total is 80 units, isn't it? You calculate in terms of percentage. It will be 80% for A, 92.5% for B, and here 84 to 52.0. Okay. The percentage you have to calculate. And earnings. So how do you calculate earnings? Here you multiply by 2. That is 64 into 2, you get 128, and 74 into 2, you get 148, and 84 into 3, that is you get 252. Is this clear? And merit system. Merit system also, here what you're doing, you'll take the average of it and then you calculate it. For A, it will be same, that is 2 rupees. For B is 2.22, and for C is 2.40. You take the average of it, you get the like labor cost per unit, and then you get the answer. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. And even some page number you asked me, no? Somebody asked me about the page number. Some 70s, I think. Any other questions? Any other questions in the costing? Any other questions? No. Okay, fine. I'll wind up the session. Again, tomorrow's class we will meet, okay? And try to be attentive in the class. So whenever I ask questions, try to give the answers. Even though if it is wrong, I'm there to correct you all. Okay? Fine. Bye.